What's going on, Forex family? Trill, the FX trader, and welcome to my Finding the Alphabet Letter strategy. Now, this is a strategy, again, that I use like my others every day on the markets, and 95% of the times I can at least catch a few of these before the day is over. Very simple strategy, but very strong concept. It gets the job done, all right? A lot of people overcomplicate Forex. For me, I found ways to make it simple, and I just replicate the things that work. And these are things that I've noticed that work. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So the finding the letter strategy, it's all about finding what you can see on the charts before it actually happens, right? So there are a few letters that the market makes just about every day, just about on every pair. And your job is to sit there and wait and try to catch it, all right? So let's take a look here. We have W's and M's. We are looking for W's or M's. M's and W's, however you want to say it. These are very apparent. If you happen to go look at a chart right now, you could probably find a few of these without me pointing them out to you, and you didn't even realize they were there. These are very, very strong ways to make money, all right? Now, the concept of this is based on let's say you were trying to trap a lion, right? You're not just gonna walk up on the lion. You're not gonna get that. What you're gonna do is you're gonna watch to see what that lion does on a daily basis. Watch its movements. Watch what it does at 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 8 o'clock. You're going to watch its movements until you can find a way to basically trap the lion, and they're helpless. That is the same concept here. I've watched the markets make this same particular movement over and over and over again. And as long as you set yourself up with the correct positioning, when they complete the letter, they'll give you the money every single time. All right? So the basis of this is, look, when you go look and you find these M's and W's on the chart, you will notice the beginning of the letter and the end of the letter. And if you look at the end of the letter, you will notice that 95% of the time, they are completing the letter back to where it started, okay? They are completing these letters back to where it started. Now that's key. That is key. Why? Because you are going to let them bring the market to you. Okay? So let's say it's all about seeing the letter before it forms. So let's say this part isn't here yet, right? So all you're seeing right now is this, this, and this. All right? All you're seeing is this, this, and this. This part is not here yet. Okay? This is your thought process. It goes exactly like this. You're looking at the chart. In your mind, you say, if they bring that up, that'll make a strong letter W. So, just in case they decide to bring it up, let me be prepared for them just in case they do to get my money. So what you do is you go to the completion of the letter, where the letter started. This is the completion. You go 7 to 10 pips from what would be considered the completion of the letter. That is your take profit. That is your take profit. All right? And then from there, you set your buy stop pending order 10 to 15 pips. 10 to 15 pips from there. And then that is your entry point. All right? That is your entry point. So, this has not happened yet. This is all based off the thought process. Okay, if they bring this up, they will make a nice W. Let me be there just in case they do. So you have your entry point, your take profit is all before the actual completion of the letter. And we've watched over and over that if they complete this letter, they complete it all the way back up to where it starts. All the way back up to where it starts. And then you are just waiting. Your pending order is right here. Your take profit is right here. Easy money every time. You're putting a buy stop when it's a W. And you're putting a sell stop when it's an M. Okay? So again, none of this was here yet. We only saw this thought process. If they bring that upwards, that'll make a nice W. Let me be prepared just in case they do. You go to the completion of the letter, where the letter would start, 7 to 10 pips, that gives you your take profit point, and then 10 to 15 pips, that gives you your entry point. All right, and if they decide to complete it, they're gonna bring it all the way up through. Let's take a look at the M. Same thing. We don't see this part yet. This part is not here yet, okay? All we're seeing is the boom, boom, boom. Thought process. In your mind, you are saying, if they complete that M, that'll make a nice M. I'm sorry. If they bring this down, that will make a nice M. What should you do? Wait for them to bring it to you. Strategy, wait for the completion of the letter. So again, here's the beginning, or what would be considered the completion of the letter. You go 10 pips from the completion of the letter. That is your take profit. You go 10 to 15 pips above that. That is your entry point. All right. That is your entry point. When you see an M, you're placing a sell stop. Okay, so when it's a W, it's a buy stop. When it's an M, it's a sell stop. And we are waiting for them to complete the letter. Now, why a pending order? Why not just ride this all the way down? Because they do not always complete the letter. That is key to it being a pending order. There will be sometimes, you can go check this out on the chart, where they will make something like this, but then they don't bring it up. They'll funnel it down this way. Or this, and you thought they was coming down, and then they funneled it up that way. Now you're in the red. The pending order keeps you safe. The pending order at the completion of the letter makes you even safer. Why? Because the brokers work a certain way. They're not going to come all the way up here and then reverse it. They just don't. So if they're going to come all the way up here, they're going to come all the way up and complete it. If they're not going to come up and complete it, the furthest they may go is like right here, and then they're going to turn it around. Or the furthest they may go is like right here, and then they're going to turn it around. Okay? So, again, finding the letter. Finding the letter. You are looking for M's and W's. W's and M's. This is a very strong strategy. I promise every day you will be able to get at least one or two of these. At least one or two of these. Alright? Depending on how many pairs you look at, maybe 3 or 4. Every pair makes them. So again, one more time. Completion of the letter. Completion of the letter. You go 7 to 10 pips from the completion of the letter. That is your take profit. 7 to 10 pips from the completion of the letter. That is your take profit. All right. Then you go 10 to 15 pips from there. That is your entry point. All right. So right now, market is down here while you're placing these. Market is still down here. And what we're just waiting on is for them to bring it to us. And 9 times out of 10, they bring it to us with a big, strong candle like this. Or at the most, maybe like 2 candles. It very rarely takes 6, 7 candles for this to happen. When they're going to complete a letter, they like, they shoot it up or shoot it down. Very powerful, very strong, doesn't have you in the market very long. Easy money, get in, get out, very little risk. Great strategy. I use it every day. Again, you see how it works. You should get onto charts and start training your eyes. Get on demo right now or whenever and start training your eyes to see these letters. Now, let me say this about these letters. They are not going to be perfect. They may have a little edge to them, or a little wiggle, a little off, a little bend to them, but it's about the overall shape. All right, and we're gonna get on the chart here in a second so I can show you exactly what I mean, so you know exactly what I'm saying. But again, start training your eyes to see M's and W's and try to get it ahead of time before it starts. So let's go over to a chart so I can show you exactly what I mean on a live chart so you can see how it works in real time. Okay, so let's look at how to find the letters in the market. Again, because when you get this strategy down, when the broker does what it does, easy money, okay? So first thing we're gonna do at this moment is train your eyes to see M's and W's, finding the letter, okay? Now, one thing we have to remember, the M and the W is not always going to be a perfect shape. It's about the overall general shape and you recognizing it before it happens, okay? All right, so for example, this right here is what? Let me grab this blue blocks. This right here is what? That is a W. If you said W, you are correct. Remember, it's not gonna be perfect. It's overall. Let's try another one. What letter is this? If you said M, you are correct. All right. What letter is this? That is a W. If you said W, you are correct. Here, another W. And again, these are general shapes. They're not going to be perfect. Even this, W. M's and W's. Right there, M. Boom, 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 boom. W. Boom, 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 boom. Now, I can go all the way back to Timbuktu and show you M's and W's on these charts. The brokers makes M's and W's all the time, especially on GBP USD. That's one of my favorite pairs. They make M's and W's literally all the time, and it's just your job to recognize them. What letter would this be right here on the inside? Because it's actually a double. If you said M, that is correct. That is an M. That is an M right there. So if you said M, you are correct. But also, if you said W, you are correct. Finding the letter. It's all about finding the letter. Here's another one, W. Boom. And it actually came right out of an M. Boom. See that? M, boom, boom. After they completed, then it turned into a W. Boom, 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 boom. M's and W's. Again, this market creates them all the time. All the time. And now I'm about to go into how you take advantage of these M's and W's, okay? Here's another one. M, boom, boom, boom. Here's another one. W, boom, 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 boom. M's and W's. Here's, technically, this is another one as well. Boom, because this piece brought it all the way down. So if you were to outline it, boom, 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 that is a W. So as I go through, you guys are starting to be looking for M's and W's. Finding the letter M, boom, and W. Here's another M, boom. I can show you these all day, guys. M's and W's. Now, why are M's and W's so powerful? What is the big deal about them? Why are they such a great tool? Again, like we said before, because if a broker decides to complete the letter, they will always complete it almost back to where it started, pretty much back to where it started. That's the powerfulness in it. Every time they create M's and W's, they usually complete it back to where it started. And I'm going to show you how to take advantage of that shortly. Back to where they started. M started here, M ended here. W started here, W ended there. Right? M started here, M ended there. So when the broker, same thing, W, it started where the M ended and they brought it back. Swoop, 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 boom. Same thing, W, boom, 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 boom. They bring it back to where it started. Boom, 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 boom. They bring it back to where it started. So how do you take advantage of this? My favorite way to trade, pending orders. Pending orders keep you safe when dealing with M's and W's. So let's walk through the whole process of how this works, okay? So the key is to seeing the letter before it actually forms, right? The key is seeing the letter before it actually completes. So let's say up, down, up. So none of this is here yet. It's only 1, 2, 3. In your mind, this is the thought process. Oh, okay. That looks like they're gonna make a nice M if they decide to complete it. And I will explain the word decide to complete it a little later. That will make a nice M if they decide to complete it. Because the concept is if they complete it, they're going to complete it towards the end of the letter, then you should have your pending orders towards the completion of the letter. So let's say that the completion of the letter is determined to be right here, right? Then you should go 7 to 10 pips above that, and that's where your take profit will be. And then how many pips you think you want for the trade? I usually do 10, 15 at the most. You go in up from that to get your entry point. All right. So 7 to 10 pips from the completion of the letter. And then 10 is your take profit. And then your entry point is 10 to 15 pips above that. And then if they decide to complete the letter, boom, they'll bring it right down to you. About letting the market bring it to you. That's a key to my game. Letting them bring it to you. Using things that they do over and over again to your advantage. Let's look at another letter. So let's say you got this W here and you're right here. None of this is here yet. So in your mind, you're like, oh, if they bring that up to complete that, that'll make a nice W. Let me be prepared just in case they do. Let me be prepared just in case they do. Okay, so again, there's the completion of the letter. This one probably go about 7 to 10 pips. Boom. And then your take profit is 10 to 15. All right. And if they decide to complete it, Boom. They'll bring it right up through your pending order. Boom. Every time. If they decide to complete it, they'll bring it up every time. Let's look at this one. It would be about right here. You looking, you're like, okay, it's a little funky, but it could be a W. Let me be prepared just in case they do. You put your take profit, 7, and then your entry point. Boom. And then if they decide to complete it, boom, they bring it right up through your order. Easy money every time. They did it here as well. Here was a gap, double confirmation. Whenever there's a gap, they eventually have to close it, whether it's in that same day or 3 days later, they have to close the gap. They made a gap, they brought it down. Here's, let's say this is the completion. The completion, because we're looking, we saw this. Market was, let's look at this one. Market was right here at the time. And you were like, oh, if they managed to bring that up for some reason to close that gap, that'd make a nice W. Let me be prepared. You set your pending orders. Boom. It comes right through, gives it right to you. Just like that. Every M and W. Every M and W. And the pending is important. And I'm about to explain you why. That's why the if they decide comes into part. It's pending. Again, let's do one more and then I'll explain that. You see, you would have saw it about right here. Up, down, up, right? Completion of the letter. You would have said, boom, 10 to 15 above. 10, 15 take profit. 7 to 10 above. Completion of the letter, 10 to 15 for your actual trade. And if they bring it down, boom. Now, when I say if they bring it down, this is why. Sometimes they don't complete the letter. There are some times where it'll look like it's about to form, but it doesn't. And that is why you do not do market executions and say, oh, I'm going to ride this W all the way up, because you don't know that it will. Let's say the W is right here and this looks like it'll be a great W. This looks to be a perfect W if they brought it up, right? So in your mind, you are like, okay, if they bring that up, that'll be a nice W. Let me place my pendings according to how I do this strategy. Boom. All right. So that's a 10 pip take profit. You 10 pips from the completion of the letter. So we wait it out. They don't finish the letter. That's totally fine. You know why? Because it was just a pending order. So if they don't finish the letter, you're not in danger. What they aren't going to do is bring it all the way up here to almost finish the letter and then not finish it. If they were going to bring that up, they would have finished that all the way through. That's just how they work. If they're going to complete the letter, if they're going to complete the letter. If they're going to complete the letter, they are going to complete the letter. If not, then they're just going to totally go the opposite direction. So that's why the pending order is very important. Do not try to put in a market execution and ride this all the way up and then have this happen to you. You'll be in the red. All right. So you set that pending order up where the letter completes. All right. So whenever we're seeing M's and W's, 9 times out of 10, it's going to come back to where it started. Here's another one. They brought this all the way through back up to where it started. That's a W. Boom. All right. We could even count it right here. Boom, 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 boom. This will be the start. This will be the beginning of the letter. This will be the end of the letter. Let me try to. All right. So as you can see, here's another one. W's. All right. and they bring it up back to where it completed. So your pending orders, here would have been the beginning of the letter or the completion of the letter. 7 to 10 inside. Then you have your entry point. Boom. They bring it up to complete the letter every time. Same thing. Boom, 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 boom. Our pending order. There's the completion of the letter. We go up. That's where our take profit is. About right there. This is where our entry point would have been at. Boom. They bring it right down. Same thing with this W right here. Boom. They bring it right up. Alright. So when they make M's and W's, you set the pending order based on the notion that they might be completing the letters sometime here soon. And if they do, you will be right there waiting on them. That is how the M and W finding the letter strategy works. Okay? Alright. Anywhere you see M's and W's, you place a pending towards the completion of the letter so that you are ready if they decide to bring it up. And a lot of times they'll bring it up in 1 or 2 big strong candles. Big strong candles. Big strong candle. So it'll just go right through your order. Very high percentage strategy, guys. M's and W's. Again, pending orders to avoid if they go the other way. But you can see when they decide to complete it, they complete it all the way back to where it started. All right. So that is the find the letter strategy, finding the alphabet letter strategy. We are focusing on finding M's and W's. All right. Again, guys, you can use this every day. Most pairs make M's and W's. Most pairs give you this type of reaction when it's coming back to complete the letter. It's always a strong drive, and you're just gonna wait at the completion of the letter so they can give you your money. Easy money, guys, every day. Easy money, guys. I do this every day, and they always at least give me 1 or 2 of them. Sometimes even 3, depending on how many pairs I'm working on. So I always can get money off this, as well as a few other strategies, but this is one of my favorite strategies because it's very easy to see. You know what an M looks like, you know what a W looks like. It doesn't even have to be completed for you to know that it possibly could be coming. So that is why I use this to my advantage. The find the letter, find the alphabet letter strategy, the M's and the W's. All right. So if you have any more questions,